Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Mr. Stids and I got you another video, this time about a minigame that is featured in Crime City, which is a cyberpunk adventure that is available right now in Drive-Thru RPG. You can download both the minigame rules and check out Crime City in the description below. I'll have the links for you ready so you can check them out. Today we're going to be talking about the rules about this minigame that I called Defusing the Bomb. Defusing the Bomb is a very simple minigame that you can implement in any tabletop RPG session for any system, really. Preferably in a sci-fi or cyberpunk or modern session. Essentially is to simulate defusing a bomb with your characters. So throughout the video, we'll be showcasing what are locked dice, what are free dice, and what are the number of actions you're going to be having throughout the minigame. So essentially, you're going to have 2 minutes and 20 seconds to complete in defusing the bomb, and you're going to be using 5d6s to do that. So in the next clip or two, we're going to be seeing the game rules and also an example run of the minigame. So we'll get to that right now. So before getting to the rules of the minigame, I just want to thank my Patreons, Minty Memory, Soleil, Vampire Bites, and Sean McNeil. Thanks for the support, guys. Thank you for giving me the opportunity in creating videos like these and content for tabletop RPGs such as adventures like Crime City. So getting into the rules of the minigame. So you can see what to expect once you download the rules. This is taken directly from the adventure module Crime City, so the page numbers and the layout are exactly the same. And also you want to disregard the first and last paragraph as they're directly tied into a specific encounter inside the module. Getting into the rules, zooming out here. So the goal of the game is to complete a sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 3 times. And you have to do that under 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I think I mentioned before it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's my mistake. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And depending on the character's intelligence or savviness with tech, the GM will place the characters in 3 different categories. So being the least tech savvy, they're going to be put into slow category, which is 1 action. And if they're average, they're going to gain 2 actions. And if they're really tech savvy or intelligent, they're going to be in the fast category where they're going to get 3 actions. There's 2 types of actions in this game. You can switch any die face adjacent to one you just rolled, or you can swap 1 free die with another, and you can use the same action more than once. So there's 2 types of dice in this game. There's the locked dice and the free dice. The locked dice is pretty much dice that you can't switch or move around, and you always start with 1 locked dice, which is the number 1. So that's the starting point in completing the numerical sequence. The free dice is the dice that you're going to be rolling next to the locked dice individually. And then once you finish rolling each free dice, you're going to start then using your actions in completing the sequence. But there are some instances that your rolls are so unlucky that you're not able to complete the sequence. So you have the option to add your locked dice. So basically you can add your locked dice from 1 to 2. So for example, if we have this scenario shown here on the top right, where you're able to switch and swap dice to get 3 3s, that means you're able to increase your locked dice from 1 to 2, and then you have your free dice on the side, which are going to be 3 instead of 4. So you're going to start the round again, and you're going to roll those free dice individually and place them next to the locked dice. So it doesn't have to be the number 3. It could be any number from 1 to 6, as long as they're in the same row pattern like as shown here. So for example, you can have 3 4s or 3 5s or 3 6s, doesn't matter. And you could do this until you get your numerical sequence completed. So basically, the bread and butter or the common strategy in doing this is pretty much gain your lock dice up to 3 and then complete your numerical sequence from there. There are instances that you can gain additional actions when you roll 2 consecutive numbers. And if you're able to roll 2 consecutive numbers twice in one round, you gain an additional action. So for example, if you were slow, your maximum number of actions is 3. If you're average, your maximum number of actions is 4. And if you're fast, the maximum number of actions is 5. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the minigame. So we're going to be showing you an example run and how it's played. And then from there, I can show you the little details on what to do. So here we have the 5d6s that the players are going to be using. We're going to separate them from the lock die that we have here on the left, which will be the starting point. And then we have the free dice, which are going to be on the right, which are 4d6s. And for the lock dice, as I mentioned before, you can increase the lock dice from 1 to 2 if you're able to complete 3 numbers of the same in a row. And you can keep increasing that up to 3 and even 4. And then once you complete the numerical sequence once, you start the round over again with 1 lock die, the starting point, and then you roll individually the free dice. So here we're gonna roll all of our free dice individually and place them next to the lock dice. So here our starting numbers are 3, 2, 6, and 1. So for a fact, I know that I can't complete the sequence with just 2 actions, which we're going to be using the average category. So I know that in 2 actions I can complete 2 3s. So here I switched the die face from 3 to 2, and I also switched the die face 6 to 2. And I was able to complete the 2 3s in a row. So that means that I can increase my lock dice from 1 to 2 and start again and attempt in completing the sequence over. So here I roll the free dice once again. I get a 3, a 2, and a 5. So just to show you how to increase your lock dice to 3, even though in this scenario I could have just completed the numerical sequence, but just to show you that you could increase your lock dice once more. So here I get another 3 2s using the lock dice. Doesn't matter if it's free dice or lock dice, you can complete those 3 numbers in a row using both lock dice and free dice. So now I just have to roll 2 free dice and I get a 5 and 3. And here for a fact I know that I can complete the numerical sequence with just 2 actions, just by switching the adjacent die face. So here's an example run of the minigame. So once I pick up the first die, the timer starts. So here I quickly roll the free dice individually. I know that I can complete 5 3s, so here I can increase my lock dice from 1 to 2. Start over. Now this one's an easy one, just use 1 action to swap, and I completed the first sequence. So now I start over again. So just to save time, I know that I can complete 3 6s and change my lock dice from 1 to 2. So I got 2 5s here, so I get an additional action. So we're using the average category. So from 2 actions, I get 3 actions now. So there I switch 1, and I switch 2 die faces there. So a total of 3 actions. Now for the last sequence. So I go for 3 5s, and I increase my lock dice from 1 to 2. Here I got my number 4 on the number 4 spot, so this is gonna be easy. That's one action, swap one die for another, and the other action is to switch the 5. And there you go. So I hope you like the minigame. It's a great way to get into different encounters and just get into the character's headspace on what they're actually doing with just D6 dice. So if you have any comments or feedback on this video or the minigame or anything that we talked about today, you can leave me a comment right here on YouTube or in Patreon, Twitter, or Facebook. You can find other content that I have available on my Patreon that you can find the link below, where I have free Cyberpunk Red adventures, one called Special Delivery and the other Homecoming, which I also have videos for that as well. And I also pump out tutorials on making tabletop RPG adventures or similar content for the public. So I hope you like it, and if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Thanks again.